Do you have any doubts in the previous class?
No, sir. Sir, your sound is very low, sir.
Just a minute. Is it audible now?
Yes, sir. Now it's fine.
Do you have any doubts in the previous class? Do you want to repeat any commands again?
No, sir.
Right. So let's move on to the next commands here. We have seen up to the line weights and also the layers, and we have seen what is its purpose and how to use this, and what are the different options available here. So now we will go to the next option, which is selection cycling. The selection cycling is mainly used when we are working in 3D. It's kind of very rare to use in 2D, but I will tell you what is the purpose of this one. Suppose if I'm having two lines here, and I have made a mistake of drawing a overlapping line.
Yes, sir.
So when I come to here, only the small line will get selected, not the big line. So suppose if I'm choosing here, only the big line is getting selected, not the small line. So the selection cycling will give me an option to select the different lines here. For example, if I come over here, it will ask me whether you want to select a small line or you want to select the big line. So this is the purpose of selection cycling. So in 3D, what will happen is that when we are working in 3D board, we will be working in the 2D and also in the 3D. So there will be a situation where we have to select a particular kind of element. At that time, it will be useful. Selection cycling will be useful. And the next one is dynamic UCS. Uh, Dynamic UCS, again, it's used in 3D, but I will say the meaning of UCS. Dynamic UCS is particularly useful in 3D, but I will make you understand what is meant by UCS and what is meant by WCS. Okay?
Yes,
We
sir.
have two kinds of coordinate system. Actually, CS means coordinate system. Coordinate system is nothing but the X and Y axis. That's called as coordinate system. One is WCS and another one is UCS. WCS means World Coordinate System. UCS means User Coordinate System. That is the difference between these two. Suppose I have a rectangle here. Let's say this is some kind of plan and I have my column location somewhere. It's a wrong place point. So this is my column. Let's say this is my column location. Suppose if I want to mark the point here, like I want to know the x and y coordinates of this point. So what I'm doing is that I have an option in annotation which helps me to mark the coordinates values. That is called as ordinates. Suppose
Yes,
if
sir.
I'm clicking here, I'm getting some values. That is 136.53. And if I'm clicking here, I'm getting one more values. That is 85.15. So these are the coordinates of this particular point. These are the coordinates of this particular point. Here, uh, here, one more thing I want to clarify here is that I just want to ask a simple question: whether this is x-axis or whether this is x-axis. Which one is you will say this is the x-axis and this is x-axis?
That 136 values. This is x-axis.
Okay, so this is x and this is y. Okay, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, actually, it's the opposite of that. The thing is that this is the y position and this is the x position. What is happening here is that I'm just drawing a line here. See, and if I'm taking a measurement from this point,
Yes, sir.
from the origin, make it mark it here. This will be 136.5. Okay, so this indicates my y position, not the x position. Similarly, and this indicates my x position. Once again, I'm taking a linear measurement from the origin this point. This
Yes,
will
sir.
be considered as the x position. So you people used to mistake this as my x and this as my y. It's not like that. You are just drawing a reference line. from the origin it is giving me this values like this. So this is called as world coordinate system. The problem is that I don't want to mark it like this. I just want to mark it. This is my first column. So this should be my origin. It has to be named as 0, comma 0. I don't want to mark this some random month that says 145. I don't want that kind of numbers at all. So what I'm doing is I'm just removing these names. I mean numbers.
Yes, sir.
After removing that, what I'm doing is that I'm just coming over here and clicking this one and giving a new UCS option. It will brings me the what it will do is that my X and Y origin will comes along with it, and I can choose my origin like this. This is my origin, this is my X position, and this is my Y position. Okay, are you able to get my point?
Yes,
So
sir.
this is called as UCS. Suppose if I mark the ordinate system now, this will be marked as 0, comma 0. This will be marked as 0, comma 0.
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay.
Hmm.
Just one second, one second. Hello. சொல்லுங்க பாட்டு நான் ஒரு 12:30 கால் பண்ணுவோம் உங்களுக்கு. என்ன கிளாஸ்ப்பா? சரி நான் 12:30 கால் பண்ணுறோம். Okay. So I just mark my dimension 0, 0 as 0. So this is called as UCS. So what I'm doing is I'm changing my coordinate system according to my purpose. So there are some cases we will be using this kind of coordinate system. So this is called as WCS and this is called as UCS. So if
Yes,
I
sir.
want to go back to my normal stage, what I had to do is I had to come over here and make it as
Okay.
okay.
Yes, sir.
So still I haven't explained what is meant by dynamic UCS because it's not possible to explain it here. I will explain it once we get back to 3D topics and all.
Okay.
And next is annotation. Annotations I will teach only once we get into this particular options. The full option is basically of annotation only. I will explain these options, why it is there, and what is the purpose of this one. And here is a gear icon. This is called as workspace switching. For example, uh, this option we have only 2D options only. In case if I want to draw something in 3D, what I had to do is I had to come over here and click on the 3D model. Then I will get all the 3D options available here. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And apart from that, what I can do is that what I can do is that there are some classes called new workspace, Vignesh class. What are those things means? Uh, things like that. Suppose if I don't want this base option here, I'm coming over here, giving right click and show panels and on base show panels. And I don't want this a clipboard or view options here. I don't want the clipboard options here. So what I can do is I can come over here and give this as a particular name, same colors. Common space. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a particular workspace, particular user interface for me and saving that.
Yes, sir.
So when I click the drafting and annotation, I will see all the options. And when I click the Amman workspace, I will be seeing a certain without that utilities or some option which I have removed. So like that, it will be working. So these are the workspace switching. So according to that, my needs, I can change my workspace. And I can jump from one to another also. And here this means workspace setting means suppose if I don't need some kind of things. For example, if I'm not going to use this one, I can uncheck this one. I can uncheck this one. I can uncheck this one so that it doesn't appear in my gear icon. Now it won't appear in my. So like that, I can do that also. And in the customize option, mostly I don't change this one much because I like to leave it as a default values. But what I can do is I can change my what is it, shortcut keys and those kind of things I can do. The thing is that I don't change this one. I like to keep it as my what is that as a default value one. I am not going too much into this, but I can change my shortcut keys and those things. Next one is my display workspace name. So suppose if I click this, there is going to be a name coming here, drafting and annotation. If I
Mm.
uncheck this one, it's not going to show. That's all. That's all about this clear icon. And this one is for hiding and isolating the objects. For example, if I click this one and select the hide option, sorry, select the hide objects, it will get hide. It will get removed from this point. And if I again click this one, end object isolation, it will reappear again. Suppose if I want this rectangle to be only present here, what I can do is I can isolate this object out and get back again, end object again. That's a very simple option. And the last option is the clean screen options. So what I can do is if I click this one, everything will be removed, only my diagrams will be available here. If I want to get back again, what I have to do is control plus zero. Please
Okay.
note on the shortcut key,
Yes, sir.
control plus zero.
Yes, sir.
And then what else? Suppose there will be times when we accidentally close this one command panel. We need a command panel in many cases. So what I can do is, suppose if I am accidentally closing this one, what I have to do is I have to press the control plus 9 again to get back. So these are all about the commands we are going to use here. This is the pan options. I'm not going to use the pan option here because I used the middle mouse button. Instead of clicking here and using this, I will use the middle mouse button to pan.
Mm.
And there are zoom options. Uh, Actually, there are three kinds of zooms will be available for me. One is zoom extends, Z enter, E enter.
Okay.
Okay. So what will happen? What is zoom extend is doing is that suppose if I am having a line here, and once again clicking Z enter, it will put everything in the space for me. Okay, suppose if I'm having something very long here, coming back to here, Z enter, here. So everything will be, it tries to bring all the objects of the drawing in the screen. So this is called a zoom extents. And one is zoom on. Zoom all is also almost same as zoom extents. It's going to say work as the same. Another one is a zoom window. Suppose if I want to zoom here, Z
Yes,
enter,
sir.
W enter, going to make it like this. It's going to show. So those options will be here. And one more thing is orbit. I'm not going to use the orbit option while working in 2D. So when it comes to 3D, we will see this one. And this is the full navigation wheel. This is the navigation wheel. I can change it according to. Again, we will see it in 3D. And this is for animation. What we can do is we can do walkthrough and on those things. So for that, we will use these options also.
Mm. Yes, sir.
So these are the basics of AutoCAD. After finishing that, what we'll do is we will go to the draw options.
Okay.
So first we will see the basic draw options and also the basic modify options. And based on that, I will give some drawings and you can practice that one. So in this class, what I'm going to do is I will be concentrating on line, polyline, circle, arcs, okay,
Okay.
yeah, arc,
Mm.
and rectangle. That's it. That's all in these options. And then I will jump back to move option, copy option. So what are the things you will be needed for drawing a 2D plan? That option I will cover in this class.
Yes,
So
sir.
the most basic option is line. The shortcut key is L. So simply I can draw a line by clicking this point, or else what I can do is I'm just clicking here and giving the coordinates value 0, comma 0. Coming over here, then what I'm doing is I'm clicking 0, comma 400.
Okay.
Then what I'm doing is that I'm clicking 400, comma 0, coming like this. Okay. And again, for coming down, what I had to do is 0, comma minus 400. Sorry, 0, comma minus. So
Oh.
like this, I can also give the values and automatically it will change this. This is called as relative coordinate system. So
Mm.
based on this point, I'm giving the values. Okay. So I can give this. But mostly people, what we will do is we will just create a point at some random locations. Like this one. and I will give the distance. Suppose if I want to give the angle also, what I have to do is uncheck the ortho mode and give the distance, then press the tab EA and give the angle. It will give me the angle of that particular lines. Like that,
What's
it will be
so
drawn those lines. Yeah,
what you did here, sir? How to give the angle?
I will repeat it again. I'll just click the position where I want my line to be started.
Okay.
Then I'm just moving my cursor
Yes, sir.
and giving my distance, whatever distance, 300, let's say. Then I am pressing my tab EAP, tab.
Okay.
It will, my distance will get locked and it will ask me to give the angle value for me. So I'm just giving my angle value.
Oh, yes, sir.
So this is my line command. Next one is polyline. Polyline shortcut key is PL.
Yes, sir.
So the difference between line and polyline is that suppose if I'm drawing a line here, I mean I am drawing a rectangle here, and once again I'm drawing a polyline using the same way a rectangle here also. So these are single lines,
Oh,
but this represents a single object for me. So this is the difference between a line and a polyline. Apart from that, I can see some kind of arcs, right? So how to draw arcs while drawing a polyline? In simple words, polyline represents a closed geometry. It can be closed geometry or open geometry, but it defines a single object. A line represents a single line. That's it.
yes, sir.
But apart from that, I have some other options in polyline. For example, I'm drawing a line and I want to arc here. What I can do is I can come to my command panel. After clicking this, I can come to my command panel and give the arc. Or else, just press the A. And
Okay.
what I do is I can just draw the arc. Now, if I want to draw the line, what I have to do is I can do line.
Oh, yes, sir.
These things are very common in SolidWorks and CATIA. We don't use, we generally use all commands here, but in CATIA or SolidWorks, if you are using that, what we can do is we can immediately change the line into all. There are also options like this. Similarly, we get options like this in Polyline.
Yes, sir.
And next thing is circle. We have different options for circle. Normally, what we do is to create a circle, we need two things. One is the center point, and the next thing is the radius or diameter. The first two options will be like this: center point, radius, center point, diameter. So like this, it will be available for me. Other things are this is based on 2 points. This is actually based on 2 points. For example, if I want to draw a circle from this point, so what I can do is from the middle I can draw like this. Then select this one, use the move command. This is one way of doing it. Otherwise, what I can do is I can just go over here and use the 2 point options.
Okay.
This
Oh,
is another way of doing it. Okay? So both works fine for me. So
okay,
next
sir.
is 3 point circle. I don't use the 3 point circle much, but I will tell the just a concept alone. So for example, this is 1 point, this is 2 point, and this is called as 3 point circle. I'm just giving 3 points. Based on the 3 points, I'm creating a circle. Okay? And suppose if I'm going too fast, or if you want to repeat any comments, just let me know. Because these are some basic rules. That's why I'm just going faster. So next one is tan radius and triple tan. Let's see what is meant by tan. After that, I will just go to the tan radius. Uh, if I click the triple tan options, what I can do is I can choose a tangent here. Tangent here. Tangent. A tangent circle will be formed for me. In case if I choose a tangent like this, based on this, a circle will be formed.
Yes, sir.
This is called tangent. While creating a circle using tan radius, we have to be careful because if I don't give the proper radius, the circle won't be created properly. For example, circle.
Hello, sir. Your voice is breaking
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
somehow.
yeah. Sorry. Okay, tan radius is that we have to be very careful about this one because if I don't give proper radius, circle won't be created. Okay.
Okay.
By just giving the tangent radius here, I'm selecting this point, and giving some random radius. The circle does not exist. It's saying that circle, it's not possible to form a circle with this kind of radius. So
Okay.
I have to be careful with the what kind of radius I'm giving. I'm just showing some example here. Simple times you don't have to give any radius; it will create it automatically. But when it comes to this one, you have to be a little bit careful about the radius. It's mainly used in mechanical drawings only.
Okay.
Suppose I have a situation like this. I will just draw these 2 points along. Having a just make it quickly because we don't simply we don't use this kind of points. Just to understand this concept, I will work this one.
Yes, sir.
I'm having this concept. Let's say this arc I will draw.
Okay.
This circle is 28 dia. Sorry, this circle is 28 dia, and this one is 27 dia. Right.
Hello.
Yeah. I'm just drawing here.
Yes, sir.
First one is 28 dia line. Circle is 7 radius. And there's a gap of 60. This gap is 60 mm. So then what I'm doing is I'm selecting this one and giving copy from this base point is 60 mm. Then what I'm doing is I'm just creating one more circle.
Mm.
But this time what I'm doing is that I'm just using that tan radius. So I'm selecting this point and then giving the value of the radius of the circle. That radius, sorry, I think 10 mm, right? 10 mm. The circle will be formed with the tangent to this one. So then what they will do is they will just do this. So this is how they will create these kinds of circles. Instead of creating a arc, what they will do is they will create a circle by with the tangent of these two circles. Are you able to
Oh,
get this point?
yes, sir.
So when I am giving the wrong radius or if I am giving very high radius or very low radius, the circle won't form. It will say the AutoCAD will say that the circle does not exist at all. So next thing is the arc options. The arc is actually kind of very interesting one uh, because there are so many options will be there. So we should know which one to use and which one should be efficient. First, let us understand what is meant by here. What is how the arcs are working here. For example, I'm drawing a line here, 300 mm, 300 mm. Okay. Then what I'm doing is I'm just using this first option, start center end. For understanding the arc, you have to imagine you are using a compass, right? Compass and pencil. So what is happening is that this is my starting point. I'm going to place my pencil here, and this is my center point. I'm going to place my compass needle here. So I'm placing my pencil, starting point, center point. Are they
Oh.
able to understand what I'm trying to say
Yes,
here?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So suppose what will happen if I place my pencil here instead of this portion? Let's see. I'm placing my pencil here,
Okay.
center point here. It's coming like this. Why it is not coming like this means in AutoCAD, all the arcs, all the circles will be created as the anti-clockwise direction. Can you see? It is running in the anti-clockwise direction. It won't run in this direction at all.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So that's why I have to choose this as my starting portion. Starting portion, ending portion, I mean center portion, and end portion.
Yes,
So
sir.
in that order, I have to give start, center, end. Similarly, in the here, what I had to do, I had to give start, center, and then I had to give the angle options. Start, center. Then what kind of angle you are expecting? Instead of if I don't want the 90 degrees, what I can do is I can give some other values. Okay. Similarly, what I had to give start, center, end. In this, mostly I will be using these options only: start in direction, or start in the angle, or start in radius, because I don't want to find out my center point at all. What I want to do is I want just my starting point and ending point. Based on that, I want to create some kind of arc. So this is the easiest one to create arc, and mostly we'll be using this one.
Okay.
And apart from that, in all softwares we'll be having this option: start in direction, or start in radius, or else start in the angle will be there for.
Yes, sir.
In start in direction, it is much more easy. I just click here, and just choosing a direction, automatically it will be created for me. So this is how it will work for me. And the last option here is that center start angle means I have to specify the center point, then the starting point, and then the end point. In all the cases, I'm going to create the same kind of path only. But in which point we are going to select first, which point we are going to select second, it's going to matter here. Okay.
Mm.
Apart from that, I have one more option that is called as three point. Three point is useful. Actually, I have used in SolidWorks and CAD drawings, and I haven't used in what is that in AutoCAD. But still, for creating some what is that irregular geometries, I have used it. For example, I have a rectangle here. I have a rectangle. What I can do is the 3 point doesn't care about where we are clipping. So let's say this is my first point, this is my second point, sorry, first point, and this is my second point, and this is my so some kind of structure can be created by this. So this is called as 3 point dot. So it doesn't care about which is my center point or whatever it doesn't care about that. So this is
Yes,
called
sir.
3 point. So for making some random shape, we can use this. That's option also called as continue. It helps me to continue from this portion. Okay. So like that, I can continue. This keeps on going. So this is called as what is the continue option. It will start from the arc which we have drawn last, and it will continue from that portion.
Yes,
So
sir.
these are all, always remember to use start end angle or start end direction, start end radius. This is the most commonly used option. Next one is the rectangle options we have. Rectangle is very simple. I'm just have to click here and drag. That's it.
Mm.
What if I want to give some dimensions on all those things? What I have to do is I'm just coming here and click the rectangle. I just have to specify the first point of the rectangle where I want to draw the rectangle. This is my goal. This is going to be my first point. Then what I have to give is I have to give the dimensions. Either I can click the dimensions here or just press E button here. Then length indicates my x-axis, width indicates my y-axis. 400, width should be something. Now
Okay.
what I had to do is I shouldn't give escape button. It will ask me whether you should want the rectangle here or in this direction or in this direction or this direction you want. So I just have to click. Are you able to understand this one?
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
So that's it. This is called as rectangle form. Polygon, I will teach in next class, or if I have time in this class, I will come to this one. And
Okay.
ellipse also the same. I will either teach in the next class, or if I have time, I will come back to this side. Next one is the hatch. The hatch is very, 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 very important. It represents, it's a graphical representation of our diagram.
What's
Suppose
that?
if I say it's a graphical representation.
Okay.
For example, I'm saying this as a concrete block. How can you say that it's a, you will ask me. I'm saying this as a concrete block and drawing this one and I'm sending to you. You don't know whether it's a concrete block or whether it's a wall plan or what kind of rectangle is that. Is this one. So I have to give some meanings by this representation itself. For example, if I want this to be a landscape, what I can do is I can use some kind of landscape.
Mm.
Like I can, or else if I want to be a concrete block, what I can do is I can just give the concrete. Now you will understand this is a concrete because the concretes are represented by this only, this symbols only.
Yes,
So
sir.
this is why hatches are very important. Even without giving any text or anything, we should be able to understand what is that thing. Suppose if I'm giving this one, I should understand this is a brick.
Mm.
So, this is called as hatches. Okay. So in hatches, I have two options here. One is select objects option. Another one we can see in the screen, pick internal points. You will be given two options. One is select objects, another one is pick internal points. Let's understand what is meant by select objects. Select object, what I have to do is, all I have to come over here and select the box. Hatch will be created for me. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Hatch will be automatically created for me. This is called as select objects. What
Hmm? Hmm? नहीं, नहीं हेतै मेरे को